Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Some, hey. Day.
Hold down, man. Suitcase this, my cell phone, and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Kfrogtv. This Kfrog live and direct. You already know the vibes. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. For this video here, I'm gonna be telling y'all how I was locked up and how it feels to be locked up with an ex-cop. Shit crazy. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, while I was at Calhoun CI, we had a white dude that was in my dorm that used to be an officer. You know, so I figured I'd come on here and I'd break it down and let y'all know what they truly go through. Or at least what this one went through. You feel me? Everybody probably thinks, oh boy, I know he got took up through there. Boy, he had it the worst. Sometimes it could be possible, sometimes it ain't. Oh, I bet you he wasn't in general population. He was in PC. This officer actually wasn't in PC. This officer was actually in the same exact dorm as me and like 100 and something other inmates. And it was to the point to where they literally joked about him being a cop. Like, they made fun of that he was a cop. And I'd say probably the first 7 or 8 months that I seen him on the compound, you know, no one messed with him. Like, he didn't have problems or anything like that. He had his towel hanging up, and his towel would hang up and it would say cop written on it. He'd write cop written on his blues, on the side of his socks, so when they do laundry, he don't lose his stuff. It literally said cop, and people knew whose it was. To me, that was just crazy, because I was expecting, like, you know, the stories you hear. The stories you hear of them taking them up through there, hurting them, you know, making them check in and stuff like that. But like I said, the first couple months, first 5, 6 months, he didn't go through that. He was literally, like, cool with people. Me, I used to sit there from the other side of the dorm and I used to observe, like, all these people that are messing with this dude, and this dude was a cop. But, to be real with you, all cops aren't bad. You know, believe it or not. There's some that, you know, just do it for a paycheck. And I say that because I've had plenty of them let me go. Plenty of them spared me. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger. Like, you know, they just did it for a paycheck. But you got them dickhead ones, the ones that literally, you know, abuse their authority. You feel me? Them ones there, those are the ones that I feel like would get took up through there. But at the end of the day, it's like, if something were to happen with someone in your family, say a child or something like that, and they got took, snatched up, who's going to get that child back? Let's be real. I know probably a lot of people will probably say, I'm going to get that child back. I'm going this, and that. Probably going to go crazy in the comment section saying that this is what they would do. They going to keep it 100. When let's be real, this isn't a movie. Real life. In real life, everyone is going to call the law. Right or wrong? Everyone is going to call the law. Anyone who says they'll never call the police for anything, just never been in a situation to where they'd have to call the law. You feel what I'm saying? And your kids end up missing or something like that, you're going to call the law. And them going to be the ones that go and find your kids. And if they return your kids to you, that officer who brought you your children back, is that a bad cop? Nah, right? Think about it now. Let's be real. If you seen something going down in a parking lot, a dude was like, you know, forcing himself on a girl right in the middle of a parking lot or something like that, what would you do? And he tried to get away or whatever. You'd beat him up, hold him down. Next thing you know, he gets arrested for that. You just help the police do that. You just help or you're going to turn your head and just let him do what he does. If you do that, then that means that you're condoning and you're cool with pedophiles. Literally. You gotta think about it now. So it's like not all cops are bad, is what I'm saying. You feel me? You'll get put in a tricky situation. If someone took your kids, you're going to be calling the law to get them back. You feel me? So this cop that was there, I guess he was cool to them, you know? He carried himself like a regular person, but he was once a cop. You know, he had scars on his face and everything from things that happened while he was in his uniform on the force or whatever, however you call it. Now, he used to always tell people. He'd literally start telling stories about what it's like on the force, and everyone would like stand around him and just sit there like it was story time. And he talked so loud, the bigger the crowd got, to where I could be chilling on my bunk like this, talking to my dogs and shit, and we can hear the story all the way from over here where we're at. Even though I didn't physically fuck with the dude, I could still see and hear everything he's doing because we was in an open bay dorm at the time. You know, now some other people landed at that camp later on down the line, and he started getting took up through there. They started trying him. They robbed all of his stuff, broke into his locker, took his brand new pair of Reeboks, things he wasn't used to. You feel me? But one thing that he did not do was check in. He didn't go PC. He literally dealt with it. He'd fight people. You know what I'm saying? They would always they'd take his shit and he'd try to find out who got it. He'd fight them. And next thing you know, he'd hit the canteen window two weeks later and they'd take his shit again. Those were people who don't like cops at all. Those right there, 9 times out of 10, were people who never ever had to look at help from law enforcement. They never been in a situation like that. Which me personally, I've never been in a situation like that either to where I needed law enforcement. You see what I'm saying? But I have had some let me go. I remember before I went to prison, man, I was on probation, riding around, drunk driving. And I got pulled over. And then police ran my name, said, oh, you're on probation, this and this, how much did you drink tonight? And shit like that. They literally said, don't drive back down this road for the night. Go right there to that light, make a right, find another way home. Do not drive down this whole road. They said, make a right there, find another way home. Just like that. And they spared me. I would have went to prison earlier on a DUI. That was back when I was just drinking, having fun, being young. Spared me. In the chain gang, there's a lot of crooked, corrupted COs. But there's also ones that, shake that sack. You see it all the time. People on the news getting caught bringing stuff in for inmates. Them ones right there, they ain't all dickheads. Them be the ones that just walk by your bunk late night when ain't no one looking. They throw a whole pack of cigarettes on your bunk. Shit, bet that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not all dickheads, you feel me? But, like I said, this dude that was locked up with us now, I guess when he was on the streets as a cop, he wasn't one of the ones that was like in a car running people down and arresting people or nothing like that. I guess he worked in the office or whatever at the police department or whatever it was. Or he was like the booking officer or something like that. So they spared him for the most part. Now, after a while, the same people that were robbing him and taking stuff for him, they started respecting him. Because even though he got robbed, he still would re-up and hit canteen. You know? In my mind, when he first came in the dorm, I was like, fuck that police ass dude, bro. I don't want to be cool. And he tried to be friendly, and I'd look at him like he was a fucking alien. Like if he was like from a different country, like from the different universe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to rap, bro. Because I knew his background. He was a cop. I was the same way. You feel me? But he ended up being a cool dude to a lot of people. You know? So he didn't get took up through there like a lot of people was probably expecting to hear on this video. But I got another story, though, from when I was at Charlotte. When I was at Charlotte, there was an officer there also. Him, it wasn't the same for him. He came, once he got on the compound, they found out he used to be a cop. Guess who told the inmates that he used to be a cop? The officers. Same people who couldn't make it becoming a cop felt some type of way that dude once was a cop, but now he's an inmate, that they came in there and told all the inmates that this dude they're about to bring in here, that's up there in processing right now, when they bring him in, that he was a cop. They can give he can give out the paperwork and show us everything. And everyone's like, no. They're like, yeah. So no one wants a cop in the dorm because that's a snitch. That's considered a rat. Even though, like I said, he was just doing it for a paycheck. But anyways, you got cell phones going on. You got Tunchi, dope, whatever it is you're moving in there. Nobody wants anyone that even looks like a rat, smells like a rat, acts like a rat, pushes the image like a rat, has the vibe like a rat. They will get you up out of there, literally. So now that they told everyone in the dorm the dude was a cop, when he came there, as soon as he went to go take a drink out of the water fountain, everybody watched him. He came in, he put all this stuff down, walked around like everything was cool. He didn't really say nothing to no one. Everyone was watching him. And then all of a sudden, he went to get the drink out of a water fountain. Somebody walked by, ripped him. Right inside the day room, inside of the open bay dorm at Charlotte. Ripped him wide open. You feel me? All because he was a cop. You see? So, cops have it bad, but they could also have it good. It all depends on where you land. Straight up. Because you might land somewhere where people don't care. You might land somewhere where this whole dorms, everyone's going home soon. So they're not going to risk their freedom for that cop. Or you might get put in the jungle like Charlotte, where I was at, to where anywhere you land, they're going to hit you up. They don't give a damn if they go home in a year. They could be going home within 6 months, and they put a cop in that dorm, they're still going to try to get at you. Because if anything goes down in that dorm after you came, and they didn't do nothing to you, they're going to feel like it's their own fault because they knew you were a cop and didn't do nothing about it. So it's like taking a chance. When in all reality, they're there for breaking the law. You see what I'm saying? And normally when it happens, it's like they usually have special places for them. You feel me? Like as far as in the county jails and stuff. But down here in the state of Florida prison, I ran across them in general population. 2 of them out of my whole prison bid. And one had it like kind of made or whatever in the beginning until people started robbing him. But then the same people that was robbing him started respecting him because he would fight. And they stopped robbing him. Then he didn't have no more problems the rest of the time I was at Calhoun. I didn't see anything else after that. And then you got the one when I was at Charlotte. You feel me? Like that got took up through there. You know, literally. And Charlotte was a psych camp. So it was such a bad part to where when he got his shit ripped open, he got put in infirmary and then he got put in confinement. They kept him in the box like he did something wrong. And then afterwards, they released him back on the compound, put him in another dorm. Now he's got a cut, which is a red flag. Everyone starts looking, word done spread around. And then next thing you know, when he gets out of the box, going to a different dorm, he's got people on his trail that he don't even know who he is. You see? And that's the type of ball game that he was going through. Me personally, I ain't getting put in no room with no ex-cop. Like straight like that. Like if I got something going on in my dorm, like if I'm the playmaker in this dorm and I got phones and different shit like that, I might be able to use that cop to benefit myself. You know what I'm saying? He might have some type of strings, some pools or something like that. But if he ain't got nothing that you can benefit yourself with, then I feel like get him out the dorm. Because it's saving me and a bunch of other people problems. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You don't want to take too long because you'll feel like it's your own fault when you go to confinement behind it. You know? And you'd rather be safe than sorry. You know? Even if he is a good guy. Even if he wasn't like a straight cop like that. If he was one of them cool ones and all that. You still don't want him in the dorm with you. That's how I look at it. You feel me? That's from my opinion. Anyone else, you know, drop it in the comment section what you think. Do you think he'd have to go? Or would you be like, nah, I'll let him slide? Or nah, bro, we could put him on observation. Like keep an eye on him for like 2 weeks, see how he carries himself, what it is. And then we'll decide like what. I want to hear y'all's opinion in the comment section. Because like I said, it depends on where you land at. It ain't the camp or institution that is hurting people. It's the people in those camps and institutions. You feel me? I just thought it was crazy, though, that they were in general population with us. That's what threw me, because all you hear about on the news or all you hear in movies or see in movies is that they're somewhere else. They're protected. They're put in protective custody. I guess that all depends on if they want to be put on protective custody or if they did something that to where they automatically fall under the guidelines to be on PC or whatever it may be. But for me to come across 2 of them, I know that it's like a 50-50 chance. Because in my mind, I know there was way more than 2 cops locked up out of my 60 months I was sentenced to prison. You feel me? So I came across 2 of them. One at Calhoun, one at Charlotte. Like, if they came in your dorm and they were like, you got 5 new people coming in, y'all. 2 going over there, 2 going over there, 1 going over here. So that's 5 people. Next thing you know, they come up and they tell you the officer slides you a piece of paper, starts putting a piece of paper on everyone's bunks. And you're like, and you look at it, and it's a picture of this dude in uniform showing everything. What would you think? Your first instinct? He's got to go, right? That's what you would think, especially if you got cell phones and shit in there. If you got cell phones or you're a plug on Tunchi or whatever it may be, you're not going to want to take the risk. Because at the end of the day, your mess up can be your own blood on someone else's hands. You get what I'm saying? Like, you literally can be in so much, you know, deals with so many different people that you can't, you know, take a fall right now. You can't fuck up. You can't force a loss right now. You can't take a loss right now. Because now if you take a loss because this dude's a cop, some COs might be cool with him and look at him for information, you know, or ask him about the force. They want to know what it's like. They're thinking about becoming a real cop. For the ones that, you know, just never tried, just became COs instead of the ones that failed. You feel me? And then they're asking him questions. And the next thing you know, oh, such and such over there and cell one and bunk 113 upper, he's got a cell phone. So now you go to confinement because they find you with a cell phone because of what this dude said that was a cop. When all that could have been avoided if you would have just got him up out of there. You could have asked him nicely to leave. Or, you know, in that type of situation when there was a cop, you don't even want your face brought up in the situation. That's when you would just put like a $50 PayPal, boom, boom, on his head. $50 is a lot in the chain gang. So don't think it's like a little amount. Someone will do so much for a $25 PayPal. $50, boy, get him up out of here, boom, boom. Now someone that don't even stay in that dorm on the rec yard or something will come and get him up out of there. He won't even know where it came from, why it came from, and then the whole time your face wasn't on it, so you're in the clear because he was a cop. You don't need him seeing your face. You don't need him knowing you're the one that told him that he needs to leave the dorm. You're going to ask him nicely or something's going to happen. You don't want your face card or any paper trail leading back to you because you could be in deals and in debt with so many different people, so much stuff going on, and then you go to confinement because this dude ran his mouth to an officer or told, and then you'll feel like I should have known because he was once a cop on the force. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that you got to look out for, though. You can never choose or know fully what this person's actions is going to be. And by him being a cop, you're like, damn. You feel me? But one thing I will say, though, about the cop that was at Calhoun, when they started robbing them and shit and making them fight and stuff like that, I seen him beat up like 2 people. Literally, he got up on against the wall and them boys squared off, but he had a funny ass set. Like his shit was like you see like they do when they take a picture for the fight card. Like his hands wasn't like this or what, them bitches was like this. Like the Notre Dame on the football, like the Notre Dame logo. Like that. Straight up. And he did what I guess they taught him in the force or whatever, but he ended up stepping off of a locker. He stepped off the locker and like did a spin kick and kicked the dude right in the stomach. Like something you see in the movies. Literally, like people ain't doing shit like that. People were like throwing kicks and stuff while fighting, but this dude like hit him, and then like did a spin kick and like said ha and everything when he did it. For real. Made me think of Don't Mess with a Zohan with Adam Sandler when he had that foot come up, started hitting people, like some shit like that. But even though he beat a couple people up, he was still a cop. So me, you know, I just stayed away from him. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? At that time when he was there in my dorm, I didn't have a cell phone. You feel me? So I was learning the ropes and everything. I was trying to figure out all the routes, trying to figure out who not to trust, how it goes, find hiding spots, everything before I even put my foot fully in the game. But my dogs had phones at the time. You feel me? This was at Calhoun. So at the same time, just, you know, I just observed. And he was actually a cool dude for a lot of people, you know. What he did is he ended up being a portrait drawer. He knew how to draw. So he would draw people's portraits and stuff. So that right there made it to where a lot of people were cool with him. You know what I'm saying? A bag of coffee, which is like $6 in the chain gang. A bag of coffee, draw your portrait, which is a good deal. Some people charge $25, $30. You give them a picture of your loved one, and they sketch that shit, make that shit look so raw, and then you mail it to your loved one. A lot of people will always overlook the fact that he was a cop when you're making their family or loved ones on the street smile. You feel me? That's the type of shit that people overlook because you're helping them. You feel me? But don't believe everything you see in movies as far as cops all on PC or nuns in general population. You'll never come across them. Because with my own 2 eyes, I came across 2 of them throughout my whole bid. You feel me? I don't know how, but it just happened. You feel me? And like I said, one, he had it made for the most part. Then it got, bumpy for him, real rough and bumpy. And then the other one, they didn't even give him a chance. Because we was in 2 different atmospheres at that time. You feel me? And I would never, ever be in the room with a cop. Just because it makes you look some type of way. You feel me? Literally. If you're sitting there at the table eating with a cop the whole time and or playing spades with him, hanging out, y'all are in the room together vibing, you got him on your cell phone and all this shit. Prison, man, makes people's minds think the most of someone. So off rip, they're gonna think he's police too. He's police. That's exactly gonna. And next thing you know, the word's gonna go around about you being a rat just because you were cool with the dude because he was a cop. You know, and rumors like that don't really just get made up. You feel me? It'll be painted out to where you look like a rat. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll make that shit to where you start thinking like, man, hell nah, bro. There ain't no way in hell, bro. I ain't living like that, bro. I ain't living like that. But the way they break it down, then everybody's on your head and everybody wants to hit you up. And everybody's calling you a rat from different parts of the compound and all that. You're like, bro, they literally put this image out about me. And somewhere, some way, some of it's true. That's just how it's going to be. Same thing with these dudes that mess with boys. It's not going to just be made up. They don't just make it, oh, dude's a nah. That shit came from somewhere. There's some point somewhere an incident took place to where you look like a You feel me? That's what it is, dog. But anyways, man, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video on up. I just wanted to tell y'all what it was like being locked up with an ex-cop. Shit's mind-blowing. Wanna be ya. Straight up. But anyways, man, I'm going to wrap this one on up. Like I said, I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all been fucking with me. Till next time, it's